Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, very good morning. In the last class, we were discussing about the rules in connection with the combination of errors, and we were discussing about our third rule. Okay, so once again, can you recall all the three rules in association with that of the combination of errors? Once again, we can recall all the rules. So here I call upon Gaya. Recall the first rule in association with that of the combination of errors.
When two quantities are added or subtracted, the absolute error of the final result is the sum of the absolute error in the individual quantity.
Sum of the absolute errors of the individual quantity. Okay, good. Then the second rule, who is here? Nimida, the second rule.
When two quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in the result is the sum of the relative errors in the multiplier.
Yes. If any two quantities are multiplied or divided, then the relative error in the final result is the sum of the relative errors in the multipliers. Okay. Then Roshan Rashid, can you recall our third rule in association with the combination of error? Third rule. Roshan, are you there? Same question to Ardra. Can you recall the third rule?
The relative error is a physical quantity raised to the power is the power finds the relative error in the individual quantity.
Okay, if the relative error of a physical quantity is expressed in terms of power, then the relative error of that physical quantity is the power times the relative error of the individual quantity. So do you want one more example in association with this third rule? I think only we are doing only one example. So we can do one more problem in dealing with that association with the third rule. Okay, all of you write the question. Find the relative error in G. Find the relative error in G. Small g. Find the relative error in G. This small g represents the acceleration due to gravity. Find the relative error in G in the equation. T is equal to 2 pi into square root of L by G. Find the relative error in G in the equation T is equal to 2 pi into root of L by G. Find the relative error of G. Are you familiar with this equation? This equation T is equal to 2 pi root of L by G is used to calculate the time period of a pendulum. Okay. We will do the lab activity. As in lab activity, you use this formula to calculate the time period of a simple pendulum. So this equation is represents to calculate the time period of a simple pendulum, the oscillation of a pendulum. And here we want to calculate the relative error of this term G. How we can calculate the relative error of this term G? First of all, you square this equation. Square the equation. Then only we get the G, because here the G is now present in forms of square root of L by G. So here we want to take the square of both sides. So we get T square is equal to 2 pi the whole square. What do you mean by 2 pi the whole square? It becomes 2 square is 4, pi square is 4 pi square. 4 pi square into root of L by G the whole square. What is root of L by G the whole square? Square root, and that square will be cancelled. So we get L by G, right? T square is equal to 4 pi square into L by G. Now, can you form an equation for G from this equation? Try to form an equation for G, because here we want to calculate the relative error of this term G. Try to form an equation for calculating G from this expression. Here T square is equal to 4 pi square L by G, which implies G is equal to, just rearrange the equation and find the equation for calculating the G. Yes, right. Unmute and say, Niranjan.
4 pi square L by T square.
Yes, G is equal to 4 pi square L by T square. Okay, so here in order to get an expression for G, this equation we are square this equation. So we get T square is equal to 4 pi square into L by G. By rearranging the equation, we get G is equal to 4 pi square into L by T square. Once again, I will write it here. G is equal to 4 pi square into L by T square. Now, we want to find out the relative error in G. How we can write the relative error in G? Adulya, what is the equation, or how we can represent the relative error in G?
Delta G by G.
Yes, very good.
Equal to
Delta G by G equal to. What about this 4 pi square? 4 is a number, pi is also a constant. So this term is a constant. We don't need to express it in terms of relative error. Okay, because 4 and pi is a constant. So the first term of that equation remains a constant. We don't need to bother about it. Then what about the relative error of L by T square?
delta L by L.
Very good.
Delta T by T.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Here we are using our second rule and the third rule. Okay. Because here any two quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in that final product is the sum of the relative errors of the individual quantity. So here L divided by T square. Here the two individual quantities are divided. So the relative error in the final product is the sum of the relative errors of these individual quantities, that is delta L by L plus, here we have T square. So we can apply the third rule. Any physical quantity raised to the power is power times the relative error of that physical quantity. That is 2 into delta T by T. So this is the relative error of G. Is it clear?
Ma'am, so we don't include 4 pi square.
Here it is T square times square. So any physical quantity raised to the power is equal to
No,
that.
the 4 pi square, the constant.
No, it is a constant. It's a constant. We don't need to find out the relative error for constants. We are only find the relative error for physical quantities, not for the numbers or any constant. Here 4 and pi squares are constants. 4 is a constant. Similarly, pi is also a constant. It has a constant value of 3.14. So we don't need to bother about the error in that numbers, because the error occurs only in the measured values, measured physical quantities. So here 4 pi square is a constant, so we are not right or find the relative error there. We can represent it as delta G by G is equal to delta L by L plus 2 into delta T by T. Is it clear? Okay, so that's all about the combination of error. I hope this topic is clear to you. Is there any doubt you can ask? Any doubt in regarding with this topic, combination of errors? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so today we are going to discuss another interesting and a very simple concept in physics, that is about significant figures. The next topic is significant figure. significant figures, or we can say significant digits. Both are right. Significant figures or significant digits. It's a very simple concept you can easily grasp. Significant figures or significant digits. So now, what do you mean by this significant figure or significant digit? What do you mean by this significant figure? Suppose I will explain this with the help of an example. Suppose you imagine that I measure the length of a side of a cube. Here I am going to measure the side of a cube, and suppose its value is 13.002. 13.002 centimeter. Okay, so this is the measured value of the side of a cube. Can you find out the digits present in this measured value? What are the digits present in this measured value? What are the digits present in this measured value? Digits, numbers. Yes. You can unmute and say the answers in the class, no problem. What are the digits present in this measured value?
1, 3, 0.
Yes, it is 1, 3, 0, 0 and 2, right? These are the digits present in the measured value. These are the digits present in this measured value, that they are 1, 3, 0, 0 and 2. And we know that if you are measure any physical quantity, there is a possibility of occurrence of error. Okay, so the digits in a measured value can be divided into two. They are reliable digit and uncertain digit. The digits in a measured value, the digits in a measured value of any physical quantity can be divided into two. It consists of two types of digit. One is a reliable digit and other is a uncertain digit. Now I will give you an idea about what you mean by this reliable digit and uncertain digit. So here I measure the side of a cube and I got the value 13.002. Okay. Now the same cube, the side of the same cube is measured by one of my friend and she got the value 13.001 centimeter. Okay. The side of the same cube is measured by one of my another friend and she got it as 13.003 centimeter. Okay. Here, any digit is undergoes variation. Which digit? Which digit is undergoes variation? The last digit. Okay. The last digit is undergoes the variation. When I measure, I got it as 13.002. And one of my friend got it as 13.001 and another friend got it as 13.003. So here the last digit undergoes the variation. That digit which undergoes variation can be termed as uncertain digit. Okay. So the digit that changes its value in every measurement is termed as uncertain digit. What about the other digit, that is this 13.001300? Is there any changes occurs to this digit? Any changes occurs to the digit 1300? No. So these digits are known as reliable digits. Okay. That is the digit which remains the same in every measurement. We can call it as reliable digit. And the digit that is undergoes changes in each measurement is known as uncertain digit. Okay. So the digits in a measured value can be classified into two. They are reliable digit and another is uncertain digit. By the term reliable digit, we mean that we are sure about that digits, or we have a confidence with that of that measured value. And the last one is the uncertain digit. What do you mean by this uncertain digit? the digit that is changes its value in each measurement. Is it clear? We know that if you measure the physical quantity, there is a possibility of occurrence of errors. So that errors is represented in terms of this uncertain digits. So any measured value that consists of two parts, one is a reliable digit and other is an uncertain digit. Reliable digit remains the same in every measured values, and the uncertain digit undergoes changes in each measurement. Now, the combination of these reliable digit and this uncertain digit is known as significant digit or significant figure. The combination of this reliable digit, plus the uncertain digit, the first uncertain digit is known as the significant digit or the significant figure. I will show the slide, then you can write the definition for significant figure or digit. The significant figures are normally those digits in a measured quantity which are non-reliable. That is, we have a confidence in that measured value, plus one additional digit that is uncertain. So the combination of the reliable digit and that of the uncertain digit is known as significant digit. Or in short form, you can copy down this equation. Significant digit or figures is equal to all reliable digits plus the first uncertain digit.
Ma'am, could you show the previous slide?
Okay. This is the definition for significant figures or digit. The significant figures are normally those digits in a measured quantity which are non-reliable plus one additional digit. And what do you mean by the reliable digit? It is a digit in which we are more confident regarding with that measured value. That is what is known as the reliable digit. Sorry.
Yeah, ma'am, I have completed.
Okay. So now we can count the significant digit in this number. 13.002. What about the significant digit present in this number? Here we have how many reliable digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 1300 are the reliable digits. So here we have 4 reliable digits plus 1 uncertain digit plus 1, that is equal to 5. So how many significant figures are there in the first measurement? 5. It is equal to 5. The number of significant digits in the first measured value is equal to 5. So significant figure or significant digit is the combination of reliable digit plus the uncertain digit. Here we have 4 reliable digits are there. 1, 3, 0, 0. These 4 digits are reliable in nature. And the last one, the 2. We are not sure about this measured value 2. It is uncertain because it is changes in each measurement. So this is our uncertain digit. And significant digit is nothing. It is the combination of reliable digit and that of the uncertain digit. So here we have 4 reliable digits plus 1 uncertain digit, that is equal to 5. So the significant digits or significant figure of the first measured value is 5. Is it clear? I will give you one more example. Nita's weight is 43.5 kg. Nita's weight is 43.5 kg. Calculate the significant digit in this measurement. Calculate the significant digit in this measurement. Nita's weight is 43.5 kg. Then calculate significant digit or significant figure in this measured value. John Philip, what is the significant digit in this measurement?
Ma'am, 4-3.
Significant digits. We are expressed a significant digit in terms of numbers. For example, it is 13.002. Then the significant digit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 significant digits are there. Similar to here we have 43. Yes, what is the significant digit present here?
3.
3. So here very good. Here the significant digit is 3. Or significant figure is equal to 3. Have we got it? Here, what is the reliable measurement, John? Reliable value. What are the reliable digits here?
43.
43. 4 and 3. 4 and 3 are the reliable digits. So here we have 2 reliable digits plus what is the uncertain digit here, Alantina? What is the uncertain digit present in this measured value?
5.
5. And how many uncertain digits are there?
1.
1. So 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3. So the significant digit of this measurement is 3. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
So now we have to follow certain rules. So in order to determine or in order to calculate the significant digits or significant measurements, significant figures in a measured value, we have to follow certain rules. And you don't need to by heart these rules, you just try to understand. And through the practice, we can find out the significant figure that is present in the measured value. So now let us see the rules in order to follow, in order to calculate.
Significant digits again. The sum.
S Adulya?
Can you explain the problem once again?
Okay, all right here. Here we consider a girl's weight, that is Nida's weight is taken as, measured as 43.5 kilogram. Okay, 43.5 kilogram is the weight of Nida. And we know that every measured value that consists of 2 type of digits. What are they, Adulya? What are the 2 type of digit present in a measured value?
Reliable digit and uncertain.
Reliable digit and uncertain digit. Very good. And what are the reliable digit that is present in this measured value?
4 and 3.
4 and 3. Here we have 3 digits. One is 4. Second one 3 and here 5. So here we have 3 digits are there. 4, 3 and 5. And the measured value is 43.5. It consists of 2 type of digit. One is reliable digit and other is uncertain digit. We are sure about these two digits, right? We are very much confident with that the measured value 43. So here 4 and 3 are the reliable digits present here. So what are the reliable digits present here in this measurement? What are the reliable digits present in this measurement?
4 and 3.
They are 4 and 3. And how many reliable digits are here?
2.
Two reliable digits are there. Very good. And we are not sure about this 0.5. So this 0.5 is indicate which type of digit is it is reliable or uncertain?
Uncertain.
Uncertain. So here we have one uncertain digit because sometimes it may be changes. If another one is measured the weight of Nida, sometimes it may be changes to 43.6 or 43.7. So the last digit is undergoes variation. So that is what is known as uncertain digit. So in this measurement, this 0.5 is acting as an uncertain digit. So how many uncertain digits are there in this measurement?
1.
1. And what is the equation for calculating the significant figure? What is the equation for calculating significant figure or digit? Significant figure or significant digit is equal to, what is the equation for calculating significant digit?
Reliable digit plus.
Yes, reliable digit plus uncertain digit, right? Reliable digit plus uncertain digit. This is the equation for calculating the significant digit. Okay, and how many reliable digits are here? How many reliable digits are here?
2.
2. Here we have 2 reliable digits. And how many uncertain digits are present in this measurement?
1.
1. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Is it
Switch
clear?
on your videos. Switch on your videos.
Students, all of you, please switch on your videos. Okay. So let us continue. So here the significant digit is calculated by reliable digit plus uncertain digit. And here we have 2 reliable digit and 1 uncertain digit. So the significant digit corresponding to this particular measured value is equal to 3. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I will give you one more example. Suppose we can consider a measured value 723.75 centimeter. Can you find out the significant figure in this measurement? How many significant digits are there?
5.
5. Very good. How you got it?
There are 3 reliable and
Yes, very good. Here we have 3 reliable digits. And how many uncertain digits are here? 2. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay. So now let us see the rules. The rules that we are used to find out the significant digits present in a measured value. This is your first rule. According to the first rule, all non-zero digits are significant figure. All non-zero digits are significant figure or significant digit. Here this figure and digit both are same. You can use either significant figure or significant digit. All non-zero digits are significant figure or significant digit. For example, 4378. Identify the number of significant digit in this measurement.
4.
Yes, it is equal to 4. The significant digit present in this measurement is 4. I will give you another example. 0723. Identify the number of significant digit in this second case. 0723. S. Try to find out the significant figure. Who says that?
3, ma'am.
Very good. It is 3. Why? Why you are not take the 0?
0 is not considered.
Yes, because according to your rule 1, all non-zero digits are significant figure or significant digit. So here we cannot consider this 0. So 7, 2, 3, there is 3 significant figures are here. Or significant digits. Is it clear? All non-zero digits are significant figures. One more example. We can write 72368. 72368. Sarah, how many significant digits are here in this measured value?
5.
Yes, it is 5. 7, 2, 3, 6 and 8. All non-zero digits are significant. So the significant digit present in this number is 5. In this measured value is 5. Is it clear?
Put a zero in between and ask.
Okay. That is based on our second rule, sir. I will explain the second rule. Then we can discuss more example.
You also have to tell how to identify uncertain digits.
Okay. Okay, sir. So according to our second rule, all zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. All zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. All zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. Four, 7, 5, 0, 0, 2, 8, 0. Four, 7, 5, 0, 0, 2, 8, 0. I will call your name. Rose, identify the significant digit in this value.
5.
Is it 5? No, wrong.
I'm at 7. Is it 6, ma'am?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we have 7 significant digits is there. 7 significant digits are there.
Ma'am,
Why?
like it's said that between two non-zero digits, so 0 is coming twice.
Here this 0 is between 5 and 2. Similarly, this 0 is also between two non-zero digits, 5 and 2. So we can consider it.
But ma'am, like 500.
Yes.
If we take first 5,
If we are take these two zeros are between the two non-zero digits. According to our second rule, all zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. All zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. Here we have two zeros are there. These two zeros are between two non-zero digits 5 and 2. So did they are significant or not?
okay, ma'am.
But we cannot take this last 0. Why? It is not between two non-zero digits. So we cannot consider here. So what is the significant digit of this value? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here the significant digit is 7. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. Next question, one more example. 5.90603. 5.90603. $5.90603. I will call your name. Tominston, can you identify the significant digits in this measured value?
6.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Here the significant digit is 6. Because this 0 is between two non-zero digits 9 and 6. Here also this 0 is between two non-zero digits 6 and 3. So here we need to consider all the digits, so it is equal to 6. Is it clear? So here we discuss the first two rules to find out the significant digits in a measured value. According to our first rule, all non-zero digits are significant digits. Then by second rule, all zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. Okay, can we move to the third rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then rule number 3. Terminal zeros without a decimal point are not significant. Terminal zeros without a decimal point are not significant. Okay. Terminal zeros without a decimal point are not significant. Example. 4700. 4700. What is the significant figure in this value? 4700. How many significant figures are here? Now ring. Yes. Now ring.
2 significant digits.
Say it louder, I can hear.
2.
2. Here the significant digit is 2. Okay. I will give you another example. The same thing. 4.700. 4.700. Now identify the significant digit in this value. 4.700. Shabarinath, what is the significant digit in this value? 4.700. It is equal to 4. Why?
And the decimal point.
Yes, very good. Because according to rule 3, terminal zeros without a decimal point are not significant, but the terminal zeros with a decimal point is significant. Here we have a decimal point, so we have to consider these two zeros. So 4.700. 4700. We have to consider these two zeros because these two zeros are coming after the decimal point. So the terminal zeros after the decimal point are significant. The terminal zeros without a decimal point is non-significant. That is why here we are not considering these two zeros. So here the significant digit is 2. Here the significant digit is 4. Can you say another example? Any digit? Anyone? Niranjan, try to say any measured value here and we can find out the significant digit. Try to a measurement, a rough value.
2.03.
30. 2.1. 0. Okay, good. Then I will call another one here. Lakshmi AB. Identify the significant digit in this measured value. 302.10. Yes?
5.
Very good. It is 5. 3, 0, 2, 1 and 0. Here this 0 is between two non-zero digits. According to our second rule, the 0, all the zeros between two non-zero digits are significant. So here we need to consider this 0. And what about this terminal 0? According to our rule number 3, the terminal zeros with a decimal point is significant. Here it is the terminal 0 is here after the decimal point. So we need to consider this 0 is also. So the significant figure is 5. Here the significant figure is 5. Is it clear? The rule number 4 is in connection with this. Terminal zeros, the terminal zeros with a decimal point are significant. This is our rule number 4. The terminal zeros with a decimal point are significant. Terminal zeros with a decimal point are significant. We already discussed some example based on this rule. Terminal zeros with a decimal point are significant. That is 47000. Here we cannot consider these three zeros, these three terminal zeros, because according to rule 3, the terminal zeros without a decimal point is not significant. So here the significant digit is 2. But the same number we are expressed in terms of 5.7000. Then what is the significant digit of this number? Tushar, what is the significant digit of this number? 5.7000.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the significant digit of this number? 5.7000.
It is 5.
Yes, it is 5. Why?
Because that's a decimal point after 5.
Because here the terminal zeros are here with a decimal point. The terminal zeros are with a decimal point are significant. Okay. So these three terminal zeros are here after the decimal point. So we need to consider these three also. These three zeros. So here the significant digit of this measured value is 5. Is it clear? Anila, is there any doubt?
No.
Okay. So now we can move to the next rule. Rule number 5. All zeros to the right of a non-zero digit but to the left of a decimal point are significant. All zeros to the right of a non-zero digit but to the left of a decimal point are significant. All zeros to the right of a non-zero digit that is, for example, 20.3567. So according to our rule number 5, all zeros to the right of a non-zero digit. Here this 2 is the non-zero digit and this 0 is right to this non-zero digit. All zeros to the right to the non-zero digit but to the left of a decimal point. Here this 0 is left to the decimal point are significant. All zeros right of the non-zero digit. Here it is right of the non-zero digit and left of the decimal point are significant. Then what about the significant digit of this number? Dia.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the significant digit of this measured value?
6.
Yes, it is 6. Good. significant digit is equal to 6. All zeros to the right of a non-zero digit and to the left of a decimal point are significant. So here the significant digit is 6. I will give you another example. 4000.7267. 4000.7267. Buddhadev, try to find out the significant digit in this value.
8.
It is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Here the significant digit is 8. Why? According to rule number 5, all zeros to the right of a non-digit number but to the left of a decimal point is significant. They are said to be significant. So here we need to consider all these 3 zeros. Is it clear? Now we can discuss our rule number 6. Rule number 6. I think it is not copied down here. Okay dear, it's the time. Sorry.